It's your theme music. Every good hero should have some.
Hey, third try. Finally the charm.
Right? I finally got it. Just about time to give up the reins. But welcome to a special Monday edition of the Eternal Baseball Podcast. I am your normal host, Mark Weber, and our top fill-in guy, first guy out of the pen, Mike Irizarry from the What's on Joe Mind podcast.
I'm the abnormal host.
There's nothing wrong with that. And it's particularly good tonight. So, we're all about transparency. So I was out of town for the weekend. We were going to push the podcast back. We're going to do it on Monday. Brent Rotundi, my partner and the tech wizard for Eternal Baseball, said, cool.
Roto.
Yeah, Roto. And he said, cool. And then he went, oh, man, I got plans on Monday. Because why wouldn't you? Because we usually take Sunday night. And I said, you know what? It's Yankee Sox. I'll call Mike. I bet he's down with that. And given the weekend we both endured as Yankee fans, we might like to play a little Eternal Baseball where the Yankees have a chance to beat the Red Sox.
Yeah, they're not going to win, though. That computer cheats.
I think it's not a terrible pitching matchup. It's Bob Shawkey for the Yanks, and I forget who, but I think it might not be the big three. Now, the Red Sox are a friggin' terror at the top of their rotation. Figure everybody in their prime, and they go Cy Young, Pedro Martinez, Roger Clemens.
Yeah, it's tough.
So, but the Yanks have won the first two of this weekend set, and they've stretched their lead in the East to 4 games. And believe you me, there is not a team in Eternal Baseball who wants a piece of Boston in the playoffs. But there's no wild cards in our league, so you have to win your division to get in. So if the Yankees can keep Boston out, I think it will be a grateful American League, at least, and maybe the whole thing. So we'll
figure out a way to keep beating up on the 4th and 5th starter, who last I checked was Bruce Hurst and Oil Can Boyd, wasn't it?
Right, Oil Can, the fill-in, right?
Could be anybody. It's a pretty steep drop off.
Even if there's a work stoppage, it ain't going to stop Oil Can.
No,
right? He's in it to win it.
He's good to go.
Let me get in. We always start off, and I'll share my screen here. We'll take a look at the week that was in Eternal Baseball.
The week that was.
And then we'll see if I can make that even just a little bit bigger. No, not much, but so here we are over here in week 19. We had a long week last week, so a short week this week. But you can take a look and see none of our division leaders have changed, and we'll look at the standings here in just a second. That is my one lament of this season of Eternal Baseball is there are not very many close races, which is a shame. And without a wild card, it's even a little more acute when all the division leaders are pulling away. But we did sim 10 seasons of Eternal Baseball before we went live with our debut season. And usually there were some really good races way down to the wire. And this year we just aren't seeing it. And so it's good that there's some randomness, that it's not the same season over and over and over again. But I wasn't
one of the constants, though, that Birmingham just whips up on their division.
Birmingham always whips up on their division. And kind of the one truth we learned from 10, not years, but 10 seasons simulated was the teams that have 100 years of lineage to pull from, they're just never bad. Sometimes they're just okay, but they're never bad. And that's, Dodgers, Reds, Yankees, Indians, Red Sox, Giants, like the Braves.
Birmingham only has maybe 25 years of lineage, but
yeah,
the whole league.
It's the whole league. And Birmingham, there are actually, I'm going to just guess that we've got some new viewers tonight, because we did a big Facebook run this weekend and invited a lot of new people. So hopefully we'll get some new blood in here. Birmingham is our 32nd team to balance out our 8-4-team divisions. It's all 30 Major League Baseball franchises. Plus we brought back Montreal, because I hate it when a well-supported franchise or city loses their franchise. So Montreal's back, and then Birmingham is the best players from the history of the Negro Leagues. But it's the entire league, and they're really, really good. And they're also dangerous because they have, I think, 4 guys who are good pitchers and good hitters.
Right.
So it's a little like that high school varsity squad, right, where Billy throws 3 innings and then goes to right field.
Right.
And so they're deep and they're really, really, really good. And so, but the other bit, the flip of the coin, the yin to the yang, the established franchises always have an advantage, but the expansion teams are always at a disadvantage. And it's funny because hardly anybody would think of teams like Kansas City or Seattle or Texas as an expansion club, but they are by comparison. And so all of those teams have a weaker pool to pull from. And Birmingham is in what was a newly created division, the American League South. And it's Birmingham, Kansas City, Texas, and Tampa. So 3 expansion teams and 1 very recent expansion team.
Ugh.
And Birmingham. So it's hard to tell. I mean, they're the best team in the whole league, 82-33. They are a juggernaut, and they usually are. But it's hard to tell how much of that is beating up on their divisional opponents regularly.
19 games a year against Steve Cox and the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, like the Rays are, I mean, they have some talent, but it doesn't go beyond, Carl Crawford and Aubrey Huff.
Right.
Really. So I tend to think Birmingham's record is always a little inflated, but they almost always win the South, and they're always a power in the playoffs. So we wanted, it was one thing, that was one of the things we had to figure out when we started was their stats are incredible, but it is stats based on Negro League baseball. And you got to be careful how you talk about it, because obviously with guys like Satchel Paige and Josh Gibson, they had some of the greatest players of all time. But I think the average, the baseline of the talent, I think most historians believe is somewhere between AAA and Major League Ball. So we kind of had to look at the numbers and see how it would work out. But this is kind of how it goes for the Knights. They usually have a very good season and have a shot in the playoffs, but we'll see how it shakes out. But they're actually our big winners this week at 5-0. We do have a little bit of a twist in that we played the first game off this week's schedule on our podcast last week. So the Giants and the Padres have 6 games this week instead of 5. So the Giants at 5-1 did real well. The Cardinals, the Mariners are off the deck at 4-1. The Phillies and Pirates had good weeks at 4-1. Who else here? Detroit, who's leading the North. The Knights at 5-0. The Diamondbacks are off the deck after a couple of really rough weeks at 4-1. And your tough weeks went to Atlanta, who still leads the South, but Houston is trying to stay in that race. Atlanta's 1-4 week doesn't help them. The Reds had a tough week at 1-4. So did the Rockies. Who else? Kansas City. The Rays went 0-5. It's been I guess that's at least a 13-game losing streak for Tampa. So Mike and I are all broke up about that. Yeah, right. It's a shame.
You want that, Carlos Pena?
That's what I'm talking about. And the Blue Jays had a tough week at 1-4. So that's what it looked like this week. We'll take a look at the standings here, and they're real small. But the Phillies are up 12 games on the Mets up north. The Mets should have had a better year. They're one of the more disappointing clubs. Atlanta has a 9-game lead on Houston in the South. In the North, I wish it was a little more competitive, but St. Louis has been hot of late. They have a 6-game lead on the Cubs and an 8-game lead on Pittsburgh. Out west, the Giants have slowed down a bit, but the Dodgers haven't made any headway. So the Giants are up 13 games out west. In the American League East, that's our best race. The Yankees beat Boston the last 2 days and helped open that race up a bit. So Boston is 4 games back as we enter play today. Birmingham leads Texas by 33.5 games in that American League South. Up north, Detroit leads Cleveland by 14. Out west, Oakland leads Los Angeles by 8. And my favorite game of the week, as a big Ricky Henderson fan, I remember back in the day as Nolan Ryan approached his 5,000th strikeout, I saw that start was going to come against Oakland. And I was like, well, don't let it be Ricky. Or don't let it be Ricky. Anybody else. And sure enough,
there it was.
Ricky was the 5,000th K. So he played against the Angels this week. It's like Michael and the Bulls, right? Ricky and the A's against Nolan Ryan and the Angels. And Henderson stole 6 bases off Nolan. I think 4 off Nolan, 2 off other guys. Even stole home on Nolan Ryan. So
revenge.
I can only imagine how soon he's going to get one in the ear the next time they play. But that was a good game.
If you can catch him.
Right? Yeah. Go get. Yeah, you don't really want to put Ricky on, but I guess if you hit him hard enough, he's not going to be the guy on first. So out there, Minnesota made a little push, but they've fallen back now. So it's Oakland 8 games up on LA, and Minnesota 10 games back. We are 114 games into the season. So if you aren't within 10, I think you are effectively dead. And at 10 games back, you got to get hot and they got to get cold. So
yeah, the line's probably a little closer than that, but we'll just say for all historic collapse purposes, 10 is probably good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wonder how that'll be if a team that's good is sort of immune to that in eternal baseball, because the talent level everywhere is super high.
Yeah.
Except in Tampa.
We're sitting here poo-pooing 10 games, and there's some 69 Cubs fan out there.
Right.
But, hey, fellas, ease up just a touch, would you?
Yeah. Pump the brakes out there.
Still a little fresh.
So that's our standings, and we're ready to. It's almost time for baseball. Oh, I think it might be Cy Young tonight. That's what it looks like. So no big deal.
Right.
So the one, I guess I bring it up every week. The one flaw of the program, it always starts me on today's current date of when the game was first released, 2019, and so it takes a little bit of work to move on ahead and get caught up to modern times. So we played all the games today, and this is the last game off the Monday schedule. So, and these, we always post the scoreboard earlier in the day, so none of this is breaking sports news. It's all stuff people have seen earlier on our website. Founder of Colorado Rocky, DJ LeMahieu, he's hitting 380.
Yes.
And he's one of the few guys who've won an American League and a National League batting title. He's going to add, it looks like, an eternal baseball batting title. So, good for you, DJ. So here we go. It's New York at Boston. Make sure I get all this right. We want large icons and large displays. It's New York, Boston with the computer. And it is Cy Young, so it's our right-hander on the mound. The way the Yanks have rolled out all year has been Ruth and Gehrig split up because they're lefties. Mickey in the middle as a switch hitter, and DiMaggio leading off. DiMaggio plays left.
Leader, Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah, leading off, but that's where he's been, so I don't want to monkey with it. So that's how the top 4 go. The rest is open for discussion. And if I click here and we sort by the replay, RPU stands for replay. That's what they've done in our season versus what their stats are. This is them ranked from best to worst in replay. But some of it, like Aaron Judge, is 4th. But Judge plays against all left-handers and occasionally a right-hander. So part of the reason why Judge's stats are so good is that when he plays, he's always got that matchup advantage.
He is optimized.
Yeah. So if I played Judge every day, the numbers would not be quite where they are. So you're the guest, Mike. And as such, there was a transaction today as Hall of Famer Joe Gordon went down to Scranton Wilkes-Barre, and second baseman Willie Randolph.
The cream of the crop, right to the top.
Yeah, see, it's weird how that happens. So who do you want where, Mike?
Is this a designated hitter game?
It is.
Okay, so we got a DH to play with.
Yep.
Excellent, then. I think the 5 spot is probably best manned by a newcomer for me. We haven't played with him the last time I was on with the Yankees. Need to get A-Rod in there.
A-Rod?
Yeah, it's a Boston. You got to get A-Rod in there.
He's got huge numbers and has had a terrible year, but I always feel weird leaving A-Rod on the bench, right?
Yeah, so. I got a feeling, man. I got a feeling.
All right.
And then we need to probably get behind the plate And we have our choice of Bill Dickey and Yogi Berra, correct?
Yep. And Berra has had the better season of the two, but not by much. OPS 799 to 760. Defensively, I think they're about the same.
Okay, so yeah, I'll give that. You take the coin flip on that one. I think either way we're in good shape.
I think you got to play Yogi. And no offense to Bill Dickey, who I think is underrated, which is ridiculous.
Right,
for Hall of Famer, but
it's Yogi.
Here we go.
Even if he's not the best one you have, he's Yogi.
Yeah, come on.
Right?
Yep. So next up, we need a shortstop, a second baseman, and a designated hitter.
Well, I think batting seventh is probably we want the guy who's got 3,600 career hits. So I think we got to put Jeter there. I think that's as low in the order as we can go with Derek Jeter.
And Jeter has been hot here in the second half, so that's good for him.
Then we want to find our DH, somebody with some pop.
So you're looking at Judge. What we have left: Judge, Irizarry, Dickey. Well, you want to say Dickey, Mattingly, and Randolph, and Willie Keeler, who's got an incredible average and stole a bunch of bases and is terrible in the field.
And Cy Young is right-handed, correct?
Cy Young's right-handed.
So I'm going to make the call here to go with Donnie Baseball as our designated hitter tonight.
And when I've used Mattingly in the past against righties, I'll usually put Mattingly at first and DH Gehrig because Mattingly is a better glove at first than Gehrig was.
I'm good with that. Either way, it's not like we're pulling Lou Gehrig out of this game. So
right.
let's take our chance to get Don Mattingly some ABs here. And, of course, Willie Randolph will hit ninth.
There we go. Willie at second. It's a really good defensive lineup with Mattingly at first and Randolph at second. Randolph is the best second baseman I think that they have anywhere. So that looks good. And then pitching wise, I looked at it before. It looks like it's Bob Shawkey who has had, let's see, we'll look at the pitching. So this is this season by actual ERA. And it's the relievers mainly, but then Whitey Ford and then Bob Shawkey has been second best with a 3.14. In eternal baseball, about 4.25 is average for a pitcher. So 3.14 for Bob Shawkey is a pretty good year.
So do we call is he officially the Shocker?
Should be, right?
Right.
He's got his own hand signal and everything. It's great. All right, so I think we're ready for baseball.
I'll refrain from doing that one on camera.
That's Sun Devils, baby. Woo!
That's not Sun Devils.
That's what they told me when I first arrived. I'm like, wow.
All right.
Walking around the campus and girls are going, woo, and I'm like, I'm in the right place, I think.
This is a good choice. Oh, goodness. Let's work blue on the Eternal Baseball podcast.
Right?
I'm not catching audio if there's supposed to be audio.
Oh, really? Hang on, I can make this work.
Oh.
No, it's coming back.
Well, I'd hope. It's going to be a bad show without it.
Right?
Degrees. Wind speed 11 miles per hour. Left to right.
Better?
We have light rain.
There we are good.
For Boston. Side.
Technical difficulties.
New York. Left
clarified.
So Cy Young's going for his 20th win of the year. No big deal.
It's up to us to deny him.
I'm down with that. And here we go. We're ready for baseball. So Joe D, leading it off. Nomar.
Designated hitter, number 4.
Fine.
Lou Gehrig.
It's funny on Red Sox boards when I put up their starting 9, and it has Nomar at short and Mo Vaughn at first. And wow, are they poorly remembered by Red Sox fans? Right.
There was some bad times at the very end of their stays.
Yeah.
Because he got tired of Red Sox management, and Nomar because his body was starting to fail him. But those guys were awesome in their prime.
Yeah, and I get that they traded Nomar and won the World Series. So okay, I get it. But with Mo's kind of like Pujols on some level, right? In that they left and they got paid a ton and they were never as good. So it was kind of that, you let go of them at the right time.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But Mo Vaughn and Nomar Garciaparra in their prime were absolute beasts.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there were bad feelings when Mo Vaughn left Boston, though. So I'm sure that's part of it.
You would think I would think that would settle over time, though, at least a bit, right?
Nah.
How much do they love Fisk in Boston?
Not with that team, not with those fans. No way.
But and yet Fisk is absolutely beloved, right? Like he never left.
Eh.
I don't know. It seems to me when Carlton went to Chicago and inverted his number as a very visual middle finger, that might have been the end of it, but it absolutely wasn't. For his
I have some thoughts that I'm going to keep to myself on that.
All right, fair enough.
Off-camera discussion.
Besides, it's Mickey Mantle. Ooh, no, too high. Too high. Too high?
For New York.
Too high.
Shawkey.
The trajectory of the ball.
Center fielder, number 50.
So this
Mookie
is if you're new to the podcast or to Eternal Baseball, Mookie Betts is a Red Sox still, and he will be until he's spent more seasons in LA than he has in Boston. So Mookie's going to be here for a while, and he plays some center in Boston because he absolutely could have if it weren't for Jackie Bradley. So. Yeah, nothing going Mookie.
Nice power, Mookie.
Right?
Boggs.
Fence buster. And Boggs is so vintage Boggs. It's always
Williams.
this little single right up the middle.
Right.
Or a walk. Nothing too exciting, but at the end of the day, he's 3 for 5 with 2 runs scored, and you're like, Wade Boggs. Ted has actually had a very poor year by his standards. You see Ted at 277, 17 homers, 73 RBI, 2/3 of the way through the year. And I mean, most guys would be just fine with that. But that's another.
Freaking Williams.
Yeah, it's Ted Williams, right? And everybody's numbers are depressed a bit because the pitchers are pitching against the best lineups ever created, and the hitters are hitting it off the best staffs ever. So everybody's a little bit down, but you can tell that Ted's numbers are a little depressed this year.
All I know is that your league is telling us that Ted Williams is a 100-point inferior hitter to DJ LeMahieu.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So.
Just clarify.
Yeah, well, Boggs ain't going anywhere, so let's see what the splendid Splinter has for us. I don't know why it does that sometimes. It's supposed to show only the last pitch of an at-bat, but here we are, 2-2. Ted Williams. Look at that.
First baseman, Mo Vaughn.
I hope Bob Shawkey put up the shark fin and did a little march around the mound. And if this was modern day, they had to be playing the Jaws theme when he came out to the mound, right?
Right.
So good. All right, hit dog Mo Vaughn. Ooh, we got a lot of that.
Ruth is there.
But fleet-footed Babe Ruth tracking it down. Ruth. Speaking of.
That ball is covered in sauerkraut.
Right? And Ruth has 39 home runs. DiMaggio has 40. So I think it's kind of cool that they're doing their own Maris Mantle thing.
Yeah.
Without involving either of those two guys. Right?
Those guys are bums.
Maris has been up a couple times for the Yankees this year, and he's been awful. So, all right, fine. So here's Mike's pick, A-Rod. Now, if you ever want to get super creative here, let me know. But he's a terrible bunter, and I don't know that A-Rod bunting for Ruth running is exactly where we want.
No, I don't think that's optimum. No. All right.
Send Ruth to third. 40% chance of being safe.
Who do they have in 40% chance? No, it's just keep.
Yeah, and it's Betts with a 9 arm. So we're good here. Ruth to third, no.
We'll play a little station-to-station ball.
Yeah, with nobody out.
Yogi Berra.
Here's Yogi. Do you leg it out? No. That's
that's all right, though.
It's like a bunt.
Jeter.
Swing and bunt for the captain.
I mean, he can bunt for a hit if you want.
I would love it if he was left-handed.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's do it.
All right, bunt for a hit.
Let's do it. Let's do it. 1 out.
I doubt if Mo or Wade are going to be flying in there.
No.
So,
let's test that Mo Vaughn range.
all right. So, well, I can bunt for a hit. I can actually do a squeeze if you want to be super aggressive. That option is there.
Yeah, I thought that's what we were doing.
Well, it's two different things. It's just bunt for a hit like you're on your own, or it's squeeze where it's a.
Let's send Babe Ruth and his little chicken legs on the squeeze.
At the very least, he'll kill Jason Varitek. And
Right.
then we get Sal Talamakia. So even better.
Sal Talamakia.
So is it a safety squeeze or a suicide squeeze?
That's the safety squeeze. It's the second inning.
52% chance for Ruth if we send him.
Send him.
All right. With 1 out, you can go either way on that. Oh, look at that. They didn't even throw.
First baseman.
Take that, Cy Young.
Don Mattingly.
I'm going to have to say that was all Mike. Pretty good, Mike. I'm impressed.
There we go. I got a freewheeling base runner to live up to. So
now that's true. Now you got your lefty up, so you could bunt with Mattingly.
no. Let's let him swing away with 2 outs.
All right. Oh yeah, 2 outs. Mattingly running. That's a good point. Not quite. Good poke though.
Shortstop. Nomar Garcia Parra.
So here's Nomar.
Donnie Baseball. See, how often do you see it? A guy flies out to center, makes a great play on first base.
Right.
Wait, that you never see that.
Doesn't happen that often. Here's Manny, who had our only 4 homer game earlier in the year, which was great because he hit 3 homers, got hit by a pitch, and they were killing him so much he got up again in the 9th and hit a 4th, which was such a Manny thing to do.
Right.
That even though I never rooted for him a day in his career,
No.
I kind of was. When I saw that box score, I'm like, that's pretty awesome. All right, fine. So here's Manny.
Not many guys can do that after taking one in the ear hole.
Yeah.
Computer Manny can do it.
Left fielder.
Sure what happened,
Carl Yastrzemski.
I was A-Rod diving and not coming up with it. Fine.
Okay.
Here's Yaz. Willie turning 2. As God intended, I believe.
Number 30, Willie.
Hey, look at this.
Here we go. Bunt him.
I can bunt with Willie anytime. He's an A.
Bunt him.
All right.
Let's get this going. Let's get this man on base.
Go.
Oh.
Now it's 0-2. So
swing away. Swing away.
Well, you got a piece of it.
At least it's not the terrible strikeout.
That's true.
Joe
I mean, that is Cy Young in his prime, so I'll take it. Here's Jolton Joe. Doesn't have the distance.
Canicorn.
Designated hitter.
Sweet Lou.
Gamer.
No, not Sweet Lou, I guess.
Biscuit pants.
Biscuit pants, that's right. Oh, looks like 2, maybe 3.
Center fielder.
Very nice.
Yeah, go get one for Larrapin Lou.
I just want to make sure I'm clear about this, that Gehrig has a 6% chance to steal home.
I think we're gonna just sit tight on that one with 2 outs.
Yeah, that's what I'm most happy to have you on the show, Mike, because Brent would think about that for a second. That 2 out steal of home with Lou Gehrig.
He would take that as a dare.
Yeah, like what? Sure. All right, Mickey.
How much worse can it get taking the bat out of Mickey Mantle's hands?
Right.
All right, thank goodness.
But Mo did pick up a hot dog from the front row.
Well, sure. I mean, you might as well when you're there.
And Babe Ruth is going to fight him for it. All right, Mick.
Covered in sauerkraut.
Did you get it? Oh, look at that.
Ooh, look at the Mick.
Mick legs it out, gets himself an RBI.
Get them wheels, Mickey.
Now, look at this. 94% chance to steal second for Mickey Mantle. So, even with Babe Ruth at the plate, I think you got to take that.
I think we do, yes. The blazing Mickey Mantle.
Right? Well, it is in his prime, so maybe because he was quick when he first came up, right?
He ran like the wind, yeah.
Before the knee injury. So, all right, now Babe's ready for some payback.
Set Mr. Ruth up with an RBI opportunity, which he will not cash in on. But
did not get it.
Jason.
Whatever. We're putting some heat on Cy Young here.
2-0, and the Yankee bullpen is really, really good.
Except,
I mean, well, yeah, but if you track it backwards, it's essentially Rivera to Betances to Righetti or Lyle or Gossage.
Right.
So there's a lot of depth there. And what'll be fun is in, I think, 2 seasons of real baseball, Aroldis Chapman will join the Yankee pen from the Reds roster.
I mean, I guess there's a spot in the minors for him.
Right? It just gets longer and longer. So looking good. All right, Veritek. I always liked how he wore a C on his uniform like no other player ever in baseball.
I would say hit him, but yeah.
Yeah, I wish we had that, but okay.
Yeah. Can't do that one.
Yeah, sit down. Is that Veritek with a K? Well, I guess it is, as a matter of fact.
A backwards K, probably.
All right, Bobby Dorr, who's playing instead of Pedroia today for some reason.
Must be a platoon thing. Maybe? I don't know.
I think Bobby Dorr's from Oregon.
Look
that up.
To spare you shaming the Sun Devil. That's all.
Could be. All right, Mookie Betts. Sitting down.
Baseman, Alex.
I love fantasy baseball, boy. The Yanks came to play today.
It's the only time.
Man.
Well, not quite A-Rod, but good.
A-Rod's in playoff form. That's all right. Rain delay. All right.
Rain delay.
21-minute rain delay. So
This
no
game
big
does
deal.
catch everything.
Yeah, I love when stuff.
Especially not with a couple of old timers on the hill. Like we're not going to the bullpen for 21 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Back out there, you Nancy boy.
It let him have 2 cigarettes. So
right.
That's good.
Ruth gets a little hot dog time.
Right.
Shortstop, Derek Jeter.
Babe Ruth pulling a Dylan Bundy out there in right field. Ooh.
I was out all last night, Reg. Oh, there we go.
Very nice.
Look at Jeter getting it started. 2 outs, whatever.
Don Mattingly.
For Donnie Baseball, no less. What's our steal percentage here?
51.
Mm.
And sometimes it'll vary pitch to pitch if you take a pitch now and then. But
it's probably with Mattingly being a lefty. So, yeah, let's just let him swing. It's 2 outs.
Now, my pet theory in real baseball is that Boone gets the year for New York. But if they're not in the playoffs and at least making a long push, he's done.
Oh, he's toast.
And they're going for Mattingly, who has an opt-out in his deal. That's my pet theory.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see. Ooh, Mattingly with a little the Jets at the end.
Third
But
baseman,
no.
Wade Boggs.
Not in his makeup.
No. Oh, it's a chicken shot to left.
Designated hitter.
Jesus, Boggs.
From the chicken man. All right, now we're not in trouble, but this doesn't look good. Yeah.
First baseman.
As big of a Yankee fan as I am, I can't muster up any anger at Ted Williams ever about anything. Like Ted Williams.
The man was a fighter pilot. What else do you need?
Fought twice. All right.
Shortstop,
Mo.
Nomar Garciaparra.
Now we could put Garciaparra on if you want, but it's Manny right behind him. So
or take
no
our
point. There we go.
Right fielder, Manny Ramirez.
And behind Manny is Yastrzemski, right? Basically the same guy, just a lefty. So,
which we like even less.
Right. Oh, Jody, get it done.
Second baseman, Willie Randolph.
There we go, starting it off.
Now you see what Mo and Wade are now.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not butting him this time though.
Yeah, let's hit it right by him.
Come on, Willie. Come on, man. Pull that.
Left fielder, Joe.
I don't know if the kid has what it takes, Mike.
He's fine.
On the big stage.
He's fine.
Fair enough.
Being the worst hitter in this lineup is not a terrible thing.
That's good. Right. That's good. All right, Lou. That's got a chance. Thank you, Lou. Look where it hit. It probably domed some guy just coming out of that tunnel. I got my nachos. I got my pow.
We're on cycle watch for Lou.
Hey, Sully, have you met Lou Gehrig? Pow!
My eye! Why would you do that to my eye?
He hit him right in the face. He meant to do that. All right, Mickey. Do me one better.
I don't think that's quite going there, but
nope.
Left fielder, Carl Ystremska.
All right. The Iron Horse obviously appreciating his day off today.
Exactly, right? A little rest.
Catcher, Jason Varitek.
I'm already thinking about the bullpen because the Yankee bullpen is that good. I'm like, how do we get into that pen? But Shawkey's thrown 58 pitches, given up 1 run against the greatest Red Sox of all time, and I'm dying to get to the pen.
Yeah, it would not. He's getting hit a little bit harder these last couple innings, so I'm not too far behind you actually.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'd like to see him. Maybe we can get out of this one with at 3-1 or 3-2.
Yeah, that double's not gonna that double's gonna hurt us. But if it's just that, I'll be okay with that. Yeah, it didn't take long. Oh, look, we held him up.
Second baseman, Bobby Doer.
So with Boggs, Williams, Vaughn coming up, so it's Betts next after Bobby Doer, and then 3 straight lefties.
Let's get somebody loose.
So we have some good lefty options in the pen, and it never hurts to be a little extra prepared. So there's 2 starters who are long guys or spot starters in Guidry and Sabathia. Sabathia's a little tougher on lefties than Guidry is, but there's also a couple of relievers. Betances murders left-handers, but not as much as Righetti. So it seems like blasphemy to say we might need Righetti here in the 5th.
Hey, he's not our closer, so if he's going to be your fireman, that's the next best thing.
If we need him in this inning, it's because we're in trouble, and we got back-to-back lefties. So
I would
I
say
think that's our guy.
Is going to get.
All right, he's warming up. Nobody here is stealing, so Bobby Doer, let's see it. Got sack fly written all over it.
Center fielder, Mookie Betts.
Varitek is a little frisky over there at 73%, so I'm gonna throw.
Yeah, we need to toss over. Keep the catcher on.
Okay, there we go. 36. That's better. All right, so Righetti will be ready after Betts if we need him. 1 out. Foul.
Hobo! Yes.
Baseman, Wade Boggs.
So I think we can afford to leave Shawkey in here. Yeah, or do you want to?
Let's give him a shot because Boggs isn't a huge home run threat.
Right, and
if
he does something poor here, then it's Righetti time. Deal. Well, Bob,
Ted Williams.
we appreciate the effort. The one nice thing about Righetti is his murder on lefties is really good on righties too.
Oh,
so there's no problem here. So Dave Righetti, welcome to the show.
Pitching for New York.
In Eternal Baseball world, Monday is Prince.
Yeah. All right, nobody's stealing here. So here's our big moment, our pivotal moment of the game so far. Dave Righetti out of the pen to face Ted Williams. Pass ball, wild pitch.
That's not encouraging much confidence.
No. Now we can pitch around or put Ted on if we want, but it's Mo Vaughn next.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let's just get what we can.
Look at that.
Oh, Ted Williams is terrible today.
Sitting down Ted Williams with 2 runners on.
He's
Mr. Ruth. Mr. Ruth? No.
Third baseman.
Soft liner to second.
Rodriguez.
A-Rod with a single and a fly out to center so far. It sounded good, but not quite.
Catcher.
Couldn't sneak it by the defensive prowess of Manny Ramirez, right fielder. And Manny did play some right, but mainly in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So when they got him in Boston, they're like, let's put him in that postage stamp and left.
Right.
That's about correct for him.
On a team full of DHs.
Right.
First baseman, Mo Vaughn.
All right, so Righetti's in. He's thrown 6 pitches. He can throw up to.
He's got to stay here for Vaughn.
Yeah, and he can throw up to 50. So we can keep him for a while if he's doing all right. Yeah, that's not going to make it.
Can of corn.
Sit down, Mo.
Shortstop, Nomar Garcia Parra. Right field,
Righetti's on fire.
Manny Ramirez.
Oh,
Which is actually famous last words, right?
Shortstop,
If he got lit up, that'd be the
Derek
name of the podcast. Righetti's on fire.
yes, it would.
All right, so we got Jeter. He's buntable if you want, but he's also hitting 315. So.
I would say with a lead, let's let him do some damage.
Fair enough.
And swing and bunt.
Wade Boggs is all over it.
First
Like
baseman,
Margo Adams.
John Mattingly.
Wow, Margo Adams call out.
Cheap shot, but fine.
Be nice to Yankees great Wade Boggs.
That's true. Riding that horse, right? Donnie Baseball. It's frisky, but
Second
not much gets
baseman,
past Mookie
Willie
Betts.
Randolph.
All right, here's your man, Willie Randolph.
They got the corners back. Let's bunt them.
Okay.
Do it. This is all about the stats.
Cy Young's all over
Left
it.
fielder,
Spry for a 110-year-old man.
At least 110.
There is a way to cut this off, but I mean, why would you? It's the metronome song of the night.
Your fans want to see the fat man sway.
Big finish. Outstanding. All right, Yaz.
Put him down, Righetti.
Righetti's really throwing well.
catcher, Jason Varitek.
Varitek.
I
believe it was
Baseman,
Varitek and Derek Lowe for Heathcliff Slocum.
Heathcliff Slocum, yes.
Tough deal if you're a Mariners fan.
Mm.
Get back, Varitek.
A great play by the Mick.
Mookie
Right?
Betts.
Mookie Betts hasn't done much today. I keep tempting fate.
You got to cut that out, man.
Joe.
We should probably get somebody loose.
I agree. So it'll be.
I think 8th inning is Patantis time, is it not?
He's so good in this, and he's another guy, kind of like the Mo Vaughn thing, right? The Yankees cut bait with him at the right time, but it always thrusts me when Yankee fans go, "Oh yeah, Betances, he wasn't that good." Yes, he was.
Oh, he was fantastic.
He was amazing. He just had injury trouble at the end, but for a kid who grew up in the Bronx and always wanted to be a Yankee, he had an incredible career. Just a shame that it got cut short, and then the real tragedy that he ended up a Met. Like,
I mean, an injury-shortened Mets career seems to be kind of the way that goes. So,
right? We call that the DeGrom.
In the 44 minutes that we've done this podcast, the Mets put 7 guys on the IL.
Right. So you can say he got Syndergaarded.
Yes.
Is that how it works?
He got Bill Pulsipher.
Generation K, Pulsipher, Paul Wilson, Isringhausen, who actually managed to put it together, but as a reliever,
became a great closer for the Cardinals.
For the Cards.
In Oakland.
All right, so it is lefties coming up. So yeah, I would say it's definitely Betances. Funny that we put Righetti in to get the lefties, and he almost got to go through them again.
Right.
But okay, so with the lefties coming up, we're definitely going with Betances. One thing to watch on Betances, he has a low pitch count, 35.
Oh, we only need a inning.
Yeah, just if they start getting to him, you have to get somebody ready for him. So, and Betances is that David Robertson type where it isn't always a clean inning.
Yeah.
But all right. So, Joe D.
We're in a good place.
Not quite.
Designated hitter, Lou Gehrig.
Somewhere out there, Sully sitting in the stands with an ice pack on one eye and nacho cheese on the other, going, Gary.
Iron horse has put a bullseye on him.
He's sitting down there going, I hope something really bad happens to that Garrett guy.
Oh, that one doesn't quite have the distance.
Not quite.
Center fielder.
Almost legged it out.
Mantle.
That'll get in like that.
There we go.
Fielder. Babe Ruth.
Come on, Babe. So far today, single fly out lineup. Mantle's up to 73%, but with 2 outs, I think you're just letting Ruth hit at this point.
Yeah, I don't want to take the bat out of Babe Ruth's hands in the 8th inning.
Yeah,
third baseman, Alex.
they put him on.
Rodriguez.
Okay.
I kind of like that when he gets to like 3-1, and they're like, you know what? No,
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I would pitch to A-Rod too.
Given the choice, sure. He's Babe freaking Ruth.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now we got something.
we got
Catcher,
Yogi.
Berra.
I think we're in good shape here.
Yeah, there's nobody to go to. If it was a lefty, I might consider Judge off the bench, but Yogi so far, ground out, line out, ground out. Let's see what he's got.
It's Yogi Berra.
That's not going to get it done.
No, it is not. That is bad.
Wade. Boggs.
All right, Dylan's ready.
Let's go get him.
Pitching for New York, number 68.
Let's nail this one down.
I forgot to go around the horn because I just like looking at the pictures, right? Joe, Mickey, Babe. I'll do it for Boston too. Really. Oh, wait a minute. Yogi. There we go. Wade. It kind of looks like if you squeeze Willie's head, the hat or legs, the hat might pop off.
Yeah, it's an early career picture of Willie Randolph there.
In that picture, he's actually 44 years old.
Yeah, he's all about what, 64, 65 at this point. Looks the damn same.
Absolutely. He should try to get drafted again.
You know what? Might as well. I swear he sold his soul to maintain eternal youth. Willie Randolph will bury us all.
Looking good. All right, Wade Boggs, 3 for 3 versus Dylan Betances.
You know what? Today, that's probably the best outcome.
Williams.
Possible, but. All right, Ted. Nope. Sounded good. They fooled me with the sound
First
effect.
baseman, Mo Vaughn.
Mo Vaughn. Yeah.
Let's get somebody up.
Stop. Nomar.
Wait.
Garcia Parra.
What we got
So
coming up
it's-
after Nomar?
Manny Ramirez, a righty, and then Yaz, a lefty. So our best options here are Lyle or Gossage, really, or Mo, if you want more than one inning out of Mo. He's only pitched 12 pitches yesterday. So,
Let's get Sparky Lyle loose.
all right.
Because I really like if Betances loses this batter,
Yeah,
we got problems.
yeah, he's obviously not doesn't quite have it if he's losing Nomar here. That could be good. 1 and 2,
Shortstop, Derek.
just like that.
Jeter.
That's my man Willie Randolph turning 2 right there.
Yeah, Willie's been everything we expected in the field today.
The prettiest double play in the business.
So right now, even though we got Sparky all up and everything, it's definitely going to be Mo time
Yes.
in the 9th. So we'll get him. I'll leave Lyle up just in case.
Yes, that's fine too.
All right. So here's Jeter. Now I'm just saying he's an eight bunter.
God forbid we get to a spot where we have to put in Sparky Lyle.
Right for Mo.
Right.
Get out of there, Rivera.
Let's give it a shot here.
All right. So we're going to bunt here.
Yeah.
All right.
Give it a shot.
Not quite. Oh wait, he bubbles it.
First baseman,
He's on.
Mattingly.
The honcho with the call.
No, that was you. I just clicked the button.
All right.
Jeter at 58%. Not feeling that.
No.
But Donnie Baseball Cy Young's only throwing 105 pitches. For him, that's like,
That's
warm up.
Warm up, yeah. I was talking to my brother about this yesterday, and it's like, yeah, I think Cy Young was listed as the starter, which means we're going to have to go 15 innings to get him out of that game.
Right. There's some games where some of these old timers are getting pounded, and you'll see them at the end of the night, and you're like, gave up 8 earned and threw a complete game.
Right. That's a tough loss.
And you can see that, like, you're hanging in 3-3, and then it just falls apart. And a couple of those runs you didn't actually give up. They were just the guys you left. But no, that was a hard 8, right? For Blyleven, I think I saw it had a line like that where it just would not come out. Fine.
Just a tough day. This computer does not like the bullpen.
No. So Donnie Baseball. Junior's up to 71, but
can we pull the hit and run?
You can.
Let's
do it. Hit and run and hit.
Let's pull the, what is it, 71 you said?
Yeah.
Let's pull the run and hit.
All right. He's starting anyway. Fair enough. Only 1 strike on Mattingly.
That's why it's run and hit.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Second baseman, Willie Randolph.
Okay, now I know he's your guy.
We need a run here.
But there are better options here with the bat. So let's see here.
We need a run.
So with our righty on the mound, who's got to be starting to feel it, probably not Bill Dickey.
No, we want to keep Bill Dickey just because he's the backup catcher. But I think if there was ever a time,
for Wee Willie Keeler?
No.
Oh, hang on. OPS versus right.
I mean, it just can't be good. He was a defense first guy from a dead ball era.
But his defense was terrible. Right? So all he can do is pinch hit and pinch run. Yeah. But it can't be Dickey. It says next best on basic stats is Judge, Keeler, Irizarry. On what they've done this year, it's Judge, Irizarry, Dickey. So it looks like Aaron Judge.
Looks like that is our guy, because then we have Tony Irizarry to come in and play some defense.
Play some second. All right.
Willie, we love you.
But
it's time. I don't think Willie Randolph, the manager, would argue this call.
Right. All rise. Cy Young and Aaron Judge. Well,
left fielder, Joe DiMaggio.
All right. Man, come on, DiMaggio. Pick it up, brother.
Says Betances seems fine, but we know better.
No, Mariano Rivera is the closer. It's time to close. And don't forget to get Tony Irizarry in to play some second base.
Number 42, Mariano Rivera.
Instead of Judge?
Yeah, maybe.
How big are those wickets of Aaron Judge at second base, right? I mean, it can't help but go between those legs.
Right.
Did you see the picture of him of Judge and Tony Kemp last weekend? Judge must have been on second, and it was by Tony Kemp, and they were talking, and Tony Kemp looks like a piece of them that fell off. But Judge was hysterical about it, posted the picture on his own Twitter feed and said, one of the guys in this picture had 2 homers this weekend.
My favorite was when Judge and Ronald Torreyes were rookies together. Our family, whenever we got together for a game, we would see Ronald Torreyes. We would call him Aaron Judge Jr.
Right,
because they were inseparable, and there's a good foot plus height difference.
Right,
two guys.
I saw them. I can't even call it a high five, right? Because it was a high five from Torreyes, but not so much from Judge.
Yeah, that's a mid chest five.
Yeah, and the profile shot of it, they looked like a lowercase h.
Yeah,
it was awesome. All right, so here we are in the 9th. Yanks up 3-2, going for the sweep. Mariano Rivera on the hill, and it's Manny, Yaz, and Veritek. Well, it's not Manny.
Left fielder, Carl Yastrzemski.
And it's not Yaz.
Catcher, Jason Varitek.
Now they won't announce a pinch hitter until I click pitch. So this may not be Varitek, but with 2 down,
We don't care. Mariano Rivera.
it's over.
Oh my God, I won a game.
It's a good thing we got Irizarry in at second.
Right?
That's what I think.
I mean, Judge would have caught it. He just would have.
The final score from
Instead of
Fenway
up
Park,
catch, it's just a mid catch.
Pittsburgh 3, Boston 2. Dave Righetti picks up the win. He is now 3-5 on the season. Cy Young is the loser.
And rightly
He
so,
is
right?
now 19-8 on the
Rags
season.
Righetti.
Mariano Rivera gets the save. Number 29. Lou Gehrig hit home run number 25 on the season. Time of the game, 2 hours, 48 minutes.
A blast of power from old Biscuit Pants.
It was kind of a weird game for Shawkey that he gave up 7 hits in 4 2/3, but he walked nobody and he struck out 6. So, by and large, pretty good start. But I think we got him out exactly at the right time.
Yeah, a masterful use of the bullpen.
Yeah, Righetti, 2 1/3 innings. Nice.
He was dealing, man. Look, he even had a little plus there.
Yeah, and that's I wondered if we might see that because he threw so well.
Matanzas with a little minus.
Yeah, so the stuff for Righetti, he should have had a slightly better day than average, and Matanzas should have had a slightly worse day, and that kind of stood out for both of them.
Worked out.
Yeah, and Cy Young didn't pitch badly, but he only struck out 1 guy. Like that's a rough day at the park if you're Cy Young.
Yeah, but that's the time he pitched in.
Yeah, that's true too. So our MVP of the game is Lou Gehrig. Apologies to Sully coming out of the tunnel with his nacho bomb to right field.
Yeah, a home run and a triple, man. You got to take that guy in a 3-2 game.
And a home run, a triple, and a knockout.
And
That's a good day at the park.
And he took out 2 of Sully's teeth.
Right.
Forget 2 RBIs, 2 TOs.
So with the win, the Yankees will move up 5 games in the East. So it's starting to get a little rough, but still, they're only 114 games in, so still some time to go. But nice to see the Yankees get a win over the Sox since they can't do it in real life.
Right.
And if you're a Red Sox fan and I told you, hey, Cy Young's going to get beat by Bob Shawkey on Eternal Baseball, what do you think about that? But you guys are going to sweep the Yanks in real ball over the weekend. They'd probably take it.
Yeah, I think that's not upsetting them too much.
Yeah, I don't think they're too worried about this. But again, it is Eternal Baseball, the Eternal Baseball podcast. Normally on Sunday nights, but we were a little moved around by real life schedules this week. We'll be back next Sunday with another edition of the Eternal Baseball podcast. But you don't have to wait that long for thrilling podcast action. Matter of fact, our good friend Mike Irizarry and myself will be back on Friday night. Mike, tell them all about the What's on Joe Mind podcast.
Well, if you ever want to see adults talk about toys, the What's on Joe Mind podcast is where you want to go. Mark and myself and our co-host Joe Colton are all lifelong fans of G.I. Joe. We talk about it in every way, shape, or form, be it animation, action figures, just stuff in the news. We got the movie coming up next month. So it's been a busy time. We've had a lot to talk about. It's we'll at least an hour and a half of good time within that hobby, if that's what you're into. Lord knows, we've banged the gong enough on the What's on Joe Mind social channels for tonight. Hopefully some of our folks are coming over and viewing this at some point this week, and you'll join us again on Friday. 9:00 Friday night on YouTube, also on Facebook. If you just follow us, we are at What's WOJM, What's on Joe Mind on Facebook, at WOJM Podcast on Twitter, at What's on Joe Mind on Instagram, and of course WOJM What's on Joe Mind here on YouTube. Find it, subscribe, do all those fun things.
Sounds like a good show. How long have you guys been doing this, Mike?
We are we are past our 10th anniversary, so we are mired in year 11.
That's awesome. Come next year, we can be snarky pre-teenagers. It'll be great.
We're almost tweens.
Oh, it's going to be so good. We can go play. Then we can play Roblox all show. It'll be phenomenal.
Right?
So it is the Eternal Baseball podcast. That'll wrap it up for us tonight. Nice to get a win for the Yankees. Nice to get a win for the hosts, who haven't had the strongest win-loss record this year. So again, thanks again to Mike Irizarry for filling in, and we'll be back next Sunday. Eternal Baseball, you can find us here. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Twitter. But most importantly, you can find us at eternalbaseball.com, where box scores are listed every day, and we are marching towards the playoffs. So we appreciate you taking some time out, playing a little baseball with us, and we will see you next week.
Evening.